Hey guys, another episode of Easterling Customs. This one not so tech related. I know it's a little dark and a little shadowy in here, but what had happened is this coffee table, somebody has set a lot of weight on the edge here and has broke this whole column here. It cracked from here all the way across to here, down the side. Now what I've done is I separated it and pulled it apart, not forcefully, just as far as it would allow itself to go. I'm using this Gorilla wood glue here, and I packed that crack all the way across here with as much Gorilla Glue as I possibly could. Now, after that, I took this C-clamp and I pressed it together and I let it sit and dry for 3 hours. As it dried, you can see here that there's Gorilla Glue still white around these studs. I just applied that. This here is completely clear. Once it's clear, it is dry. It's not cured, but it's dry enough that you can work with it. I've removed the vise. I know you didn't see the deassembly, but you can take into consideration the reassembly and just reverse that to see how to put this back together. I should have started this from the beginning and made this video, but I didn't. I'm sorry guys, but I'm starting now just in case somebody has a $600 coffee table and all of a sudden, oh, somebody sat on it and now it's broke, so you're going to throw it away. You can still use that as long as you know what you're doing and as long as you're using the right products, okay? Now, like I said, this stuff right here, it's the first time I'm using the wood glue side, but their other products are awesome. So after this has dried, I put these studs in. And I took these two bolts right here, these bolts, and I double stack them, okay? Now, when I double stack them, you take a wrench, thread one on, thread the other one on top. Take your wrench and grab the bottom one. Take your socket and put on the top one. And you torque the top one while holding the bottom one stationary. That way they get tight together. Then you can take your ratchet and slowly tighten the bolt up until you apply a decent enough amount of pressure that it threads all the way in, but you don't want to thread it too far. If you do, you're just going to split the wood again. Wood is very soft. Once you get them in all the way, remove your bolts and we can start the reassembly. I'm going to take this platter here. We're going to line it up with the screw holes. Put our two washers on there. Alright. Make sure everything's lined up as close as to the way it was when you deassembled it. That way everything is centered. And there we go. Now, we're going to take our bolts, or nuts anyway, and we're going to start tightening them down. Now, we're not going to over tighten these because that wood glue that I've got around the studs, because where the wood split, it has messed up the threads for those bolts. So what I'm doing is we are going to tighten these nuts down just barely until you can feel them. Put a little pressure back on you. Don't over tighten them. Like I said, that wood glue is still wet. This side, a little bit of pressure, stop, and see if it's tight. Now, we're going to let this sit and dry. As it's sitting and drying, we are going to take this, put the bolts right in the center of that, and we got 4 bolt holes which thread through into here, through here. So let's get that done. Make sure our bolts are lined up properly. line the platters up, and we will start threading our bolts in. You don't want to go this one, this one, this one, this one, because when you're doing is you're tightening this side down, you're tightening this side down, and you're pulling this side up. So when you get to this side, you're going to put too much pressure on it and probably crack the wood over here. So what you're going to do is finger tighten all the way around just to get them started. These holes are bigger than the bolts themselves, and you want to go, when you do finally tighten these up, you want to go at an angle, cross them, this one, then this one, and then this one, then go back to where you started and start over again. Put that one in. That one's not going to want to start. We'll come back to that one. That one started. That one started. I'm going to grab a flashlight to check out why the other one isn't starting. With our flashlight, we can look down in the hole and see the platter was a little off center. So, with the bolt still loose, we can adjust the platter and slide it a little bit until it all lines up properly. And then we will commence on tightening our bolts down. Don't over tighten them, just barely tighten. Then you cross to the next one. Sorry guys, it's very hard to do this and hold a camera. And we'll go over here, and then we'll go back to the first one. Just like putting a wheel on a car, you go in a star pattern. You cross. Start one, go the opposite side, start the other one, go the opposite side, go the other one, until you get them tight. And then you can go around the outer edge and make sure that everything is in fact tight. There we go. Now we will see if our wood glue held. I don't want to grab this because this is what we are gluing in the process. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the top. I'm going to flip it. And I don't want a lot of pressure on the base itself. So I'm going to grab the other side and completely lift it off the ground. And there we have it. Completely secure, strong coffee table. Guys, thanks for catching up with us today. Leave us some comments on what you want to see next. We'll get the next ones up. Might not be tech related, but I can only make videos tech related as the tech comes in. Nobody's sending tech right now. I don't have no clients at the moment, so had to make a video about something. See you guys next time.